Section 1, losing big winning bigger, the 2016 head-scratcher. Remember 2016, Hillary Clinton won nearly 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. 3 million. That's like winning a hot dog eating contest, but then someone hands the trophy to the guy who ate fewer hot dogs. How's that possible? Welcome to the wacky world of the US Electoral College, where the popular vote doesn't always pick the president. Buckle up, folks, because we're about to explain this head-scratcher. Section 2, Electoral College 101. It's like choosing your champion with state-picked teams. Imagine picking the winner of a national pie-eating contest, but instead of counting individual plates, we divide the country into teams. Each team represents a state, and the number of people in each team varies. Some teams are huge, like California, while others are much smaller, like Wyoming. But here's the twist. The winner isn't the person who eats the most pies overall. Instead, it's the team that scores the most points. Each state or team gets a certain number of points based on its population. The bigger the state, the more points it has to offer. Each team gets a certain number of points based on its population. For example, California, with its large population, has more points to give than a smaller state like Vermont. This system is designed to balance the influence of both large and small states, ensuring that neither group dominates the competition entirely. It's a way to make sure that every state has a voice, even if some voices are louder than others. That's kind of how the Electoral College works. Instead of a direct popular vote where every individual vote is counted equally, the Electoral College system allocates votes to states. These votes are then cast by a group of people known as electors. The number of electors each state has is equal to its total number of senators and representatives in Congress. This means that states with larger populations have more electors and therefore more influence, but smaller states are still represented. It's a group of 538 people called electors who officially elect the president. These electors are chosen by the political parties in each state, and they pledge to vote for the candidate who wins the popular vote in their state. However, there are some exceptions and variations in how states allocate their electoral votes. Most states use a winner-takes-all approach, where the candidate with the most votes in the state gets all of its electoral votes. But a few states, like Maine and Nebraska, use a proportional system. Each state gets electors based on its representation in Congress. This means that every state has at least 3 electors, regardless of its population. The total number of electors is 538, which includes 435 representatives, 100 senators, and 3 electors for the District of Columbia. This system aims to balance the power between populous and less populous states, ensuring that the election isn't solely decided by the largest states. To win, a candidate needs to snag at least 270 electoral votes, a bit like winning enough state-based pie-eating contests to take home the national title. This majority ensures that the winning candidate has broad support across the country, not just in a few heavily populated areas. It's a unique system that blends elements of federalism and democracy, aiming to create a fair and balanced method for electing the President of the United States. Section 3. Popular vote versus electoral votes when more votes don't make you a winner. Here's where it gets really interesting, or frustrating, depending on your viewpoint. A candidate can win the popular vote, meaning they get more individual votes from people across the country, but still lose the election. How? It's all about those electoral votes. Remember the 2000 election? Al Gore won the popular vote, but George W. Bush won the presidency because he secured more electoral votes. Yep, it's happened more than once. Section 4, swing states where every vote feels like a heavyweight title fight. In the grand arena of American politics, swing states are the battlegrounds where every vote feels like a heavyweight title fight. These states are the ultimate deciders, the places where the political fate of the nation can hinge on just a few thousand ballots. Now, imagine some states are way better at pie eating than others. Picture a state fair where some contestants are seasoned pie-eating champions, while others are just there for the fun. The seasoned champions are like the swing states in elections. They have more points to offer, so candidates really fight for their attention. They have more points to offer, so candidates really fight for their attention. Political candidates pour their resources into these states, holding rallies, shaking hands, and making promises. They know that winning over voters in these key areas can make or break their campaign. These are the swing states, states where the vote could go either way. Unlike states that consistently vote for one party, swing states are unpredictable. They can swing from one election to the next, making them the focus of intense political strategy and effort. Think Florida, Ohio, and other pivotal states. These places are often the center of media attention during election season. The outcomes in these states are closely watched, as they can provide early indicators of which way the national vote might go. Pennsylvania. Places where candidates spend tons of time and money trying to win over voters. Campaigns invest heavily in advertising, grassroots efforts, and on-the-ground operations to sway the undecided voters in these regions. Because in the Electoral College system, winning these key states can be more important than winning by a landslide in states that are already solidly red or blue. The Electoral College system amplifies the importance of swing states, making them the ultimate prize in the race to the White House. Winning a swing state can provide a significant boost in electoral votes, often tipping the balance in a close election. This is why candidates focus so much of their energy and resources on these battlegrounds, knowing that every vote truly counts. Section 5. Why keep the Electoral College? Tradition, avoiding tyranny of the majority, and some shaky logic. So, why do we have this system that seems about as sensible as a screen door on a submarine? Well, the Founding Fathers had their reasons. They were worried about direct democracy. They didn't want a few large states always dictating the president. They also wanted to protect the interests of smaller states. But critics argue that the Electoral College is outdated, undemocratic, and gives too much power to swing states. One person, one vote, right? Seems fair. Many people believe it's time to ditch the Electoral College and just go with the popular vote. After all, shouldn't the person who gets the most votes become president? It seems like simple math, right? Supporters of this view argue that it's the fairest system and would ensure that every vote counts equally, regardless of where you live. Section 7 National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, states teaming up to outsmart the system. Here's a fun fact. States can actually choose how they award their electoral votes. Enter the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. It's like a pact among states, agreeing to give their electoral votes to the winner of the National Popular Vote, regardless of who won their state. It's a clever workaround, but it only kicks in once enough states sign on. Section 8. The Great Election Debate. What's more important, the people's voice or the state's power? The debate over the Electoral College boils down to a fundamental question. What's more important, the voice of the people or the power of the states? Should we prioritize the candidate who gets the most votes nationwide? Or should we stick with a system that gives a voice to individual states, even if it means the popular vote winner might lose? It's a tough question with no easy answers. Section 9. Your vote, your voice. Get informed, get involved, and make your choice count. Voting is one of the most powerful ways to influence the future of your community, your state, and your country. It's not just about choosing a candidate, it's about making your voice heard on issues that matter to you. So what do you think? Have you ever wondered about the impact of your vote? Every election, whether local or national, shapes the policies and direction of our society. Your participation is crucial. Should the US keep the Electoral College or switch to a national popular vote system? This debate has been ongoing for years, with passionate arguments on both sides. The Electoral College was designed to balance the influence of smaller states against larger ones, but many argue that a popular vote would be more democratic. There are strong arguments on both sides. Proponents of the Electoral College say it ensures a wider geographic representation, while critics argue it can lead to a candidate winning the presidency without the majority of the popular vote. It's a complex issue that requires careful consideration. The important thing is to get informed, think critically, and engage in discussions. Read up on the history and implications of both systems. Talk to others, listen to different perspectives, and form your own educated opinion. And make your voice heard. Attend town hall meetings, participate in community discussions, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Democracy thrives on active participation and informed citizens. After all, this is a democracy, sort of, and your vote matters, kind of. While the system isn't perfect, it's the best way we have to ensure that everyone's voice can be heard. Every vote counts, and every election is an opportunity to make a difference. And your vote matters, kind of. So, take the time to research, get involved, and make an informed decision. Your participation is essential to the health of our democracy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to find a pie-eating contest. It's a light-hearted reminder that while voting is serious business, it's also important to enjoy the lighter moments in life. I'm off to find a pie-eating contest. After all, sometimes we need a break from the serious stuff to appreciate the simple joys where the winner actually gets to eat the most pie. So get informed, get involved, and make your choice count. And don't forget to have a little fun along the way.